Professor of Political Economy, Pat Utomi, on Sunday alleged that he was a victim of contract violation he entered with the Ogun State government under former Governor Ibikunle Amosun's administration. Utomi's ex-handle, he reacted to a comment by the former governor that he cancelled a deal with Chinese firm Zhongfu International Investment, FXE. Utomi said he suffered similar fate in the hands of Amosun, saying so it was Amosun's violation of contract terms signed by his predecessor that brought the shame of seizure of jets from the presidential fleet. I hope he's happy at this achievement. The whole matter is karma at work. The Chinese were not the only victims. So he said. But Amosun responded to him.
Yeah, he said he has the entitlement mentality. Daily Post is reporting that former Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun has said that the remarks made about him by Pat Utomi were because he refused to feed his entitlement mentality or honor his indecent influence peddling. And we don't have so much time, but basically there was a part where he was saying that so that Pat Utomi's investment in the state would not waste, he committed to making a refund of 100 million naira.
I think
as against the claim of 200 million.
He also made reference to that.
But Amosun is saying that Pat Utomi wanted 200 million. But he was ready to commit 100 million.
Because he said the investment in that land was not up to 200 million.
Yeah, but he now went on to say that if we're saying that there's a rule, there's a guideline to doing things, we shouldn't bend it because of dignitaries or whatever. And that's what Pat Utomi wants.
This is my own take on this. We have always had a trend where a governor comes in and revokes contracts, thereby creating legal or, litigations on the state. And this is an example of what we saw. These contracts were initiated under Benga Daniels. And then Amosun came on board and revoked the contract. Now the question is, if you are going to revoke a contract, don't forget PNID. Now, that was also the same thing that happened.
Yeah.
We need to ask ourselves, and we must begin to bring our former governors and presidents to account. If you believe as a governor
and ministers
that your predecessor signed a predatory contract, your duty is not just to revoke. Your duty is also to ensure that that person faces the outcome. So you are also complicit as well.
Here's my own take. Nigeria is not known to have a shortage of legal minds or a shortage of, contract lawyers or international trade contract lawyers.
So why do you keep creating these landmines?
So Ogun State cannot say that they do not have, people that could have helped them look at the contract, that the state, signed with that Chinese company to see how they can get off that contract without putting the nation in jeopardy this way. That was how we struggled with PNID until we got reprieve from it. Here's another one embarrassing us globally. When a company is taking our sovereign property somewhere in the world.
The interesting thing, that there are remedies available to a party who has engaged in part performance in contract. Now, these companies are saying that there's a part performance. We have a contract, we have done our own part. So it's either you look at that contract and say, okay, there must be restitution.
Yeah.
So and that's why they're making that huge claim.
Okay. We do
now our 3 aircraft that we are still begging, the managers of Nigerian PLC to sell.
Nigerian PLC
are now in the hands of foreign PLC.
We do appreciate you for joining us on Facebook.
Let's do some comments quickly.
Before we do, I feel the need to commend Ayo Mide. Thank you so much for the great work on Facebook.
Thank you, Ayo. All right, Abiola Lawale has dropped a lot of messages this morning, and I thank you. Baba Basanjo talking now. What did he do when he was there? Coming from someone who didn't do so much during his time. Can you really say that? Anyway, well done from Okoyemi area, Gbagi, Olasunde Habib. Akim this. Okay, thank you for your comment. Amo Abiodun said, good morning, house. On the donation by the Adelejis, there is nothing bad in donation. However, some churches are more or less business hubs. Some churches have private jets for hire, event centers, shopping malls, even universities, including secondary and primary schools, as investments. So the church can easily invest its money in its established business or do another business with it. In this country, we are more religious than Pope. Thank you.
Akim Olalekon says
yes.
there's nothing we can do to this as long as government is still indirectly subsidized to price of petrol. Dangote can never sell its product below NNPC own, and that is why he kept postponing. Oluwakayode says church business, Nigeria's most profitable organization, nonsense donation.
Ekuk Pele Ademumi says, good morning, Splash. Until when we trace our steps and face the truth, that's when we are going to get it right. How on earth a donation of £1 billion for religious body that is not productive in terms of the economy? Why can't they invest this bogus amount on food production?
Yonda Biolawale says donation is always good. It depends on the intention and purpose of the donation.
He also says NNPC is a failed company. It's just there doing nothing and killing hopes of many Nigerians who are waiting to feel the ease of the fuel issues here.
Atolagbe Kairat says 1,000 people would have become millionaires, my opinion though.
Akim Olalekon, now that the nature, flood and rain break in some states, is ready to deny us adequate and sufficient food production. What are the preparations for these to save us from drought? Good morning, Oluwaseun and Ibukun.
All right, 0809-155-1055. You can as well call 0706-949-3000.
Akim Olalekon says 80% of what Nigeria is facing today since 1999 was created by Obasanjo. He laid the foundation. Interesting. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. If you're there, good morning this morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
Please, let's make it 1 minute.
Okay, Charles from Ibikunle. On the donation to the churches, I think some people don't know how churches run. They just come out and say business. I watched a program, live program, they say when one church, I don't want to mention the name, was giving first class graduates from any university in Nigeria, as far as their member, he was giving them money as motivation for their efforts. So there are some underground things church again people don't know. They only come to the surface, only the ones they stay on the surface, they will not say church. So I don't agree with that. I know somebody voluntarily donate to the church, I don't see what is wrong in that. And lastly, on President Obasanjo, you see the processes that throw these people up, president, governors, make them to be corrupt, whether they like it or not. Until we change the processes, or people ignore the two ruling parties and go for lesser ones that are not ready to give them money, I think that's when we'll have credible people in governance.
Thank you. 0706-949-3000, 0701-447-5770. Let's have your take this morning. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve.
The branch the House of Assembly, National Assembly for 4,000. And you or that guy in 2007. You know the same thing with the people now. Maybe issue with his PhD, he should go to the church on Wednesday for prayer meeting and Sunday service. You should please leave us alone and please have a nice time.
All right, thank you very much. Does that mean that does that mean that he should not talk again? That because that's what I hear everybody say all the time when he speaks. It's an opinion mode. I don't think we can stop him from talking. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Oluwaseun, good morning.
Good morning.
Little Ibukun, Ekaro. My name remains Olusola Tilios.
Welcome.
Now, Baba Obasanjo has stated the obvious, very true, and he has right to speak as a Nigerian. But he himself, Baba, with respect, because in Yoruba language, he himself, with respect, is part of bad governance we have experienced in this country. There are things he is supposed to do during his government when he was there in 1999 to 2007. He failed to do them. So he's part of them, but he's stating the obvious. Why? Because up to now, Nigeria is still suffering from bad leadership. Donation is not a crime, in as much it's not Osun State money. Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
Morning.
Oh,
Thank you.
how I love Yoruba. He said, so what did he say?
No, you don't say
Okay.
Agbala.
All right.
What did he say?
Honorable Aki Kumi Camille says donating 1 billion naira to a church. That's the beginning or the end of that church. As a church worker or organist in the church, will you collect this and tell me stories that I won't collect my own share? When we have 100 Nigerians that have not eaten, we are destroying this country with our extravagant way of life. I will implore Lagos State government to tax the church heavily. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Kola Lori from Apate.
Welcome, Mr. Lori.
On the issue of church donations, I don't see anything bad in it. It goes with your faith. We don't know what the church have done to that family, to the extent that they offer sustenance. I've seen someone that always tied with 10% to certain something. And when he prayed to God, God answered. So no one should blame anyone for doing what they are doing. And church is also doing its best on his own part. On the issue of about when someone will say, he did this, he died National Assembly, what could do you have anyone naming for that in the court of law or whatever? And then we still need more of Baba Obasanjo. When Obasanjo speaks, every politician speaks. We need someone that hits them hard so that they can do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess that will be it today. We thank you so much for always being there with us on Splash 105.5, your integrity station. Our next program is Sports Bank. I'm sure you are going to have a wonderful time listening to Tunde Olawuwo and his team members as they give us the latest, from the world of sport.
Hi, Raymond. Why are you sitting so far? Come and stay here. What happened yesterday? Manchester City now.
I have to be sure which team we are talking about because there are so many matches yesterday.
Yeah,
But if we talk City, Chelsea, the main light work of Chelsea who look like they were never ready for the season. Mm-hmm. And of course, Alan getting his 94th to go in 100 matches. That's an insane record for the Norwegian. And City are trying to win their 5th title. I mean, they begin on a very good note. There are wins for Chelsea, for Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool. Basically, most of the big boys, except for Chelsea. And for Real Madrid, started on a draw. Yesterday, Barcelona also began very well with a 2-1 win on Saturday. So, basically, the top 5 leagues is here. European Football League is here. So, it's time for the bant. If your team is winning, good. If your team is losing, I'm waiting for Louis Sport to come around and bant our team.
You heard him. Tunde Olawuwo and, of course, Raymond are ready to take you through the world of Sports Bank. Good morning.
Morning.
Splash FM 105.5.